Condolences to the Sager family. Craig Sager, a reporter for TNT Turner Sports, died at the age of 65, battling leukemia. He died from a case of leukemia. Looking back at Craig Sager from a fan standpoint or a fan perspective, man, he was one of those guys that not only was knowledgeable of the game, he was able to find his own lane, his own way to become a superstar without taking away from what was going on the court. Craig Sager is highly regarded and well respected. But we all know Craig Sager on TNT for the crazy suits, jackets, blazers, colors. Definitely, brought out his personality, and it was a wave and an energy that only Craig Sager could pull off. And for him to be gone at this point is definitely sad. Thoughts and prayers definitely go out to his family. But, Craig Sager was definitely a superstar. If you were a fan of the NBA, if you were a supporter of the NBA, coming up as a little kid, Craig Sager was the man, and he recently was just getting some of his just due and some of the respect that he deserved. Didn't get it all, but definitely a special guy. Nevertheless, in the sport of basketball, the NBA has definitely lost a good one. Again, the prayers and all the condolences go out to Craig Sager. Staying on the NBA, man, I wanted to chop it up real quick. Let's get into resting players now. Resting players probably has been going on since the beginning of time. Most notably with Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs. He's been known to, years ago, rest Tim Duncan, Ginobili, and Tony Parker in the regular season to keep them prime and ready and conditioned for the postseason. It has been, at times, it has worked. Sometimes it has not been so good. But we're seeing just recently the Cleveland Cavaliers, they just was on a back-to-back against Memphis Grizzlies, and Coach Tyronn Lue decided to sit the big three for the away game in Memphis versus the Grizzlies. I wanted to find out from y'all, what do y'all think about superstars of the NBA being set out for the away games? To me, it's disgusting. It's really pathetic, because when you play an away game, especially against the other conference, you're only going to their home once a year. And regardless if you're a fan, I'm the biggest Knicks fan, but if I was in New York and if Kobe was coming to play at Madison Square, or if Jordan was coming, or if LeBron was coming, or KD, or any of the elite superstars in the game, you're paying to see them. You got love and support for your home team, but you're paying to see the superstars. Whether you're paying to see them struggle, sometimes you might want to see them do stuff extra special against your own team. But the bottom line is, you pay the money and you travel, and with expectation, thinking that these superstars that you always see, your team is going to get a crack at beating them, and it's high expectation. And for the teams and superstars to be sitting down on road games, it's just disgusting. And it gets me, excuse me, a little bit under the weather. It gets me a little bit choked up, because it shows a lack of appreciation. Don't talk to me about, rest and conditioning and trying to get ready for the playoffs and this, that, and the third. I don't have a problem with resting NBA players. You don't have to be elite, any NBA player. I don't have a problem with resting the player if you do it right, but do it in the home games. Do not deprive the fans of the sport, regardless if they're fans of your team or not, of the opportunity to see you. They spoke to LeBron James on this, and LeBron James had made a comment about, he's been to almost every arena, even down to Seattle, when Seattle had a basketball team. He's played everywhere. But that's really besides the point. Just because you've played everywhere and you've been in the league for a lot of time, a lot of years, but that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody has seen you. And we got new fans of the NBA. We got new fans of the sport. And you should be embracing, those new people. And just for the fact that he went and took that angle, I just was very disagreeable. I don't have no problem with you sitting games, but it has to be home games. And I'd rather have the home team with 40 opportunities to see you playing at home be upset than having somebody paying all this money and you're only going to get one shot at it, especially if you don't have a playoff contender that could possibly reach the finals to maybe face LeBron and some of these other elite players. It just don't make no sense. And the NBA, I expect to step it in pretty soon and make some type of change when it comes to resting players, because you selling out the fans, you downplaying the game as a whole, and I'm not digging it. You want to rest with some home games. Don't rest on the road, especially if it's a back-to-back. LeBron could have clearly rested at home in Cleveland and then went on the road and played Grizzlies in Memphis. So I think the NBA definitely need to give it a rest when it comes to resting players, and they're going to have to step in and do something about it, because it's just crazy.
Best of 7 Sports Talk with 7 Mitchell on T7M Radio every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. 347-989-8102, and follow us on social media, T7M Radio on YouTube.